Welcome back, you guys. Welcome to Soft Savage Oracle, where we mind our peace and our pentacles. Over here, we are not chasing people. We're not decoding mixed signals, and we're definitely not stressing over what we can't control. Okay? This is a space for alignment, awareness, and self-respect. If it costs your peace, it's too expensive, and it distracts you from your bag, baby, it is not your business. So go ahead, get grounded, tap in with yourself, and let's see what the message is. All right, so let's start with our prayer. God, remove anything from my life that disrupts my peace, distracts me from my purpose. Give me discipline to focus on what's mine and the wisdom to release what is not. Silence confusion, strengthen my intuition, and keep me aligned with the version of myself that chooses growth over attachment. Let no outside energy interfere with what you're building for me. What's meant for me will come with clarity, and what's not will fall away without resistance. I am protected, I am focused, and I'm in control of what I allow. Amen. Okay? So, first of all, let's get started with a few cards, okay? Let's get started with a few cards. Let's see what we have. We already pre-shuffled. Okay. We have Five of Swords in the reverse. Ten of Swords in the reverse. The Lovers in the reverse. And Justice in the reverse. So, right off the bat is giving very heavy. This spread is very heavy. Let me turn the cards so y'all can see them. I haven't figured out how I could set up a way that y'all could see all the cards. Okay, so this spread is very heavy. Okay, this is giving aftermath energy. So this is not the drama. This is what happened after the damage has already been done. So basically, the Five of Swords in reverse. This is basically saying, you know, you're done going back and forth and back. Whatever situation that this is, you're done going back and forth and back. No more fighting. You're just done with it altogether. You've washed your hands with the situation. Now, with this Ten of Swords, this is someone trying to heal, trying to recover, getting up after something knocked them down. Life, a relationship, situation, something knocked them down. Okay? So, boom. The chaos already happened. The betrayal already happened. The disconnect already happened. Now, somebody is like, I'm not doing this no more. So, basically, you're in the energy of, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I want peace. So, with that, you got the Lovers in reverse, which is misalignment, wrong choice, or a broken connection. So, with the Justice in reverse, this is like imbalance and unfairness. Somebody is not being held accountable. So right now it's giving this is where the connection is. Things got messy, somebody got hurt, and in the end it wasn't even right or fair to begin with. So this wasn't just a breakup. This was like a bad decision that ran its course. Like, this is a type of, basically like a situationship that you knew was doomed from the beginning, but you had to see it through. You tried to trust the process, and it didn't work out in your favor. And this Justice in the reverse card is loud. This is the energy of I gave more than I got. This wasn't equal. Something with this wasn't sitting right with you from the beginning. It's like you already knew before you got involved that you probably shouldn't have, but you did it anyway. It's okay. You know, it's okay. The problem wasn't the ending. The problem was like the imbalance the whole time. I feel like this is given that you were definitely putting out more than what you were receiving. You were trying to love your way into somebody's heart. You felt like if maybe you tried a little bit harder, you could probably change them, and it just didn't work out that way. So let's clarify some of these cards, okay? So let's clarify this 5 of Swords in the reverse. So the 5 of Swords in the reverse is being clarified by the Hermit and 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so with this Swords of in the reverse, you have 5 of Swords in the reverse, and it's being clarified by the Hermit and the 7 of Pentacles. This is giving the 5 of Swords in the reverse is definitely giving a walking away from the conflict, okay? And these cards is telling why, okay? So the Hermit is pulling back, going within self-reflection, okay? And then the 7 of Pentacles is basically evaluating, reviewing, asking yourself, basically, was it worth it? So this is someone who said, let me step back and really look at this situation, okay? Like, you stepped back and you took a look at the situation. And when you did, you realized, or this person realized, they were investing into something that they wasn't getting a good return on. It wasn't giving a real return, okay? So instead of arguing and proving a point or trying to win, or, you know, basically trying to get this person to reciprocate what you feel like you deserved in this situation, you walked away, you went quiet, and you started focusing on yourself. So this isn't avoidance, this is discernment, okay? There's a difference between avoidance and discernment. In the 7 of Pentacles, this is also like an assessment, okay? So this is basically like, you know, I've put time into this, but what am I actually getting in return? Okay, it's like stepping back and looking like, okay, I've done all this hard work, I've done everything that I was supposed to do for this situation, for this connection, and what have I really gotten out of it? And the Hermit makes it even deeper, because it's like, this decision is like not advice that you got from somebody else. Your decision to walk away or reevaluate the situation, it came from you fighting with yourself, going deep within and trying to figure out, like, what is it that I really want? And when you did that, you know, you decided, you know, that maybe it wasn't really worth it. So with the 5 of cards in the reverse, it's like basically, I'm not arguing with you. I'm accepting you for who you are. So you are in the energy of accepting somebody for who they are, okay? And then once you accepted them and really seen things for what they are, you decided it wasn't even worth the fight. So it's like you didn't walk away because you lost. You walked away because you finally saw who and what you were dealing with. And once you evaluated it, you realized it wasn't really worth energy to keep it going. Okay, so now let's clarify this Ten of Swords in the reverse. We're gonna clarify it with Three of Swords in the reverse and Three of Swords in the reverse and the Page of Pentacles. So with the sword, Ten of Swords in the reverse being clarified by the Three of Swords in reverse and the Page of Pentacles. So basically, okay, this right here is healing with intention, okay? So the Three of Swords in reverse right here and the Ten of Swords in reverse. Ten of Swords in the reverse is basically recovering from something that hurt bad. You're getting up, but you're not fully out of it yet. Then you add the Three of Swords reverse, and this is healing, heartbreak, releasing pain, letting it go, not holding on to it the same way. Okay? And then the Page of Pentacles, it's a new focus, new path, small but real effort towards something better. Okay, so you're moving on to something better, and when you put it all together, this is basically somebody in the energy of, yeah, that hurt, but I'm not staying here. Like, I'm not gonna drown in my sorrow. Okay, you're not just healing emotionally, you're redirecting that energy. So it's like you're not just getting over it, okay? You're starting to build something else. You're transmuting this heartbreak into something else, okay? And with the Page of Pentacles, this is important because the Page of Pentacles is not big, flashy energy. It's small steps, quiet discipline, focusing on what really actually benefits you. So instead of sitting in this heartbreak, you invest in yourself, your growth, your future. You might started working out, or perhaps you started learning a new skill, something that you're gonna use to help better your life instead of just sitting in heartbreak. Because some people will get their heartbreak broken and they will dwell in it and they will sit in it. But you're not doing that. You're taking this energy and you're healing yourself by focusing on bettering yourself, if that makes sense, okay? This is low-key giving glow up season activated, okay? This is giving glow up season activated, and you know, you're ready to sit in that heartbreak. Okay, so now let's clarify the Lovers in the reverse. We're going to clarify the Lovers in the reverse by the Death in the reverse. This is a lot of reversal, y'all. And the Two of Swords. It is a lot of swords out here. It's a lot of reversals. So with this Lovers in the reverse being clarified by the Death card and the Two of Swords, this is basically all these reversals and like all these swords and reversals. This is a lot of mental conflict and resistance going on, okay? So the Lovers in reverse right here, this is misalignment, wrong choice, broken connection. Now, why is this still lingering? So with the Death in reverse, it goes refusal to let something in and resisting transformation. The Two of Swords is basically avoidance. It's the same thing. It's like not wanting to face the truth. So when you put this when we put this all together, it's basically this connection is already not aligned, all right? But somebody is refusing to let it go. Somebody is refusing to let it go, And somebody is avoiding making a clear decision. This is the energy of, I know this isn't right, but I'm not ready to fully release it. Okay, so you're like, you're not ready to let it go, even though you know it's not serving you anymore. You're not ready to let it go. That's why it feels stuck. This ain't love. This is hesitation attached to familiarity. Okay? Hesitation attached to nostalgia, basically. The death in the reverse is something that should have ended but didn't. Or, you know, it's lingering on past, like, the expiration date. Like, keeping something past the expiration date might work a little bit for, like, food and stuff like that. Like, you might get a couple days after the expiration date to finish that milk. But when it comes to love or real life situations, keeping things past the expiration date, there is no benefit of it. There is no benefit in keeping things past the expiration date. Okay? And with this Two of Swords, somebody is choosing not to see it clearly. They're either choosing not to see it clearly, or they're delaying action. They already see it, but they're delaying making a move. So now with the Lovers, the Lovers in reverse becomes, this is not just a bad match, but this is a prolonged bad match. Okay, like, there's nothing good coming out of this situation at all. Nothing's coming out of this situation. There is no need to keep holding on to it. It must be released. Okay, this wasn't a hard decision. This was a delayed decision. Okay, it's not that you didn't know, you didn't want to accept it. It's giving, the energy is giving that you already knew it was over. You just didn't want to be the one that it did. And this ties back to the Justice in reverse, which this signifies imbalance. Imbalance. Ten of Swords is healing, and the Five of Swords is walking away. Okay? So the Five of Swords is the walking away. Healing. This is healing. This is, you knew it was over, but you just didn't want to let it go. And then we have Justice in the reverse. Right now, with these cards out here, it's giving the connection ended emotionally before it ended physically. It's being dragged out. So it's like you've already come to terms with what this is and what it ain't, but you ain't let it go yet. You've come to terms with what it is and what it ain't. You just haven't let it go yet. So with this Justice in the reverse, we're going to clarify this last card. And with the Justice in the reverse, we have Page of Swords. We had Page of Pentacles. Now we have Page of Swords. And the Page card is usually like, it gives like beginner energy, okay? Like novice beginner energy. And then we also, with the Justice, Page of Swords, and then we have the Strength card, okay? So this is the accountability play, the accountability. Justice in the reverse symbolizes imbalance, unfairness, and lack of accountability, okay? And with pages being beginner energy, remember I said page is beginner energy. Swords controls like conflict of the mind. Like the swords is like air energy, mind energy, okay? So like with the page of swords, someone is watching, thinking, or trying to understand, but they're still immature in communication, okay? The page of swords is like beginner energy, like I said, okay? And the strength equals self-control, restraint, and inner discipline. So this is somebody who is aware something is off. Page of Swords. They're aware something is off. And they are observing, thinking, and maybe even analyzing the situation. But instead of owning it, if this justice was right side up, this would be accountability. But being that is reversed, this is giving somebody who isn't owning it. Like, you know something is off, but you're not owning it. You're holding back, you're suppressing, they're managing their ego or their image. Ego or image. That could be you, or that could be this other person. I'm thinking this is not your energy, this is the other person's energy. All right, it could be your energy. It could be your energy. You see it, but you're not standing on it. And that's why the justice is reversed. Because like I said, justice is accountability. Action, honesty, correction. That's what justice in the upright is. But this energy, this is watching, thinking, and restraining. And that's why it seems unfair, because you got somebody who understands on a surface level, but they won't step into responsibility. So yeah, this is not your energy. This right here is giving the other person's energy. The other person knows, they know they ain't shit. They know they haven't given what needs to be given. They know they haven't met you in the middle. They know they're not doing what they're supposed to do, but they're not ready to step into it fully. And because of that, you've come to terms with that, but you haven't let it go yet. One person has processed and is moving towards release. The other person sees it and stays passive. So they're aware of what they're doing. They're just not ready to hold themselves accountable. So you're doing the right thing, even though it's hard for you. You're doing the right thing by walking away, because this person is not clueless. You may have thought in the past that they were clueless. They're not clueless as to what's going on. They're novice in what's going on. They're novice in this situation, maybe in communicating, maybe in, you know what I'm saying? But they're not ignorant to it. So they know. They have enough sense to know what they're doing, but they don't have the follow through to fix it, if that makes sense. So basically, if you stay in a situation, it's giving you're going to be the one responsible for the awareness and the accountability, because this person is not willing to be, this person is not willing to hold themselves accountable. So you will definitely be responsible for being the bigger person. You're going to be in the constant energy of forgiving and forgetting, letting stuff go, being the bigger person. This person is not, I'm not gonna say they're not capable of it, they just don't want to do it. Like I said, novice. The page signifies novice. It does not signify ignorance. So they know exactly what it is that they are doing. This person is not willing to hold themselves accountable. So you're going to be in a constant dynamic of where you're always the one adjusting, always the one figuring it out, always the one being the bigger person. Like, for instance, this person could be like a moody person. And you know they're a moody person. Every morning they get up, they might be in a sour mood. They might cuss you out in the morning. Let's use that as an example. They may cuss you out every morning, okay? This person knows that they fucked up by cussing you out every morning. They might later on be like, hey, babe, I'm sorry about this morning. You know how I get when I wake up in the morning. You're going to be that person that's constantly saying, oh, babe, I know, I understand. That you're going to have to bite that bullet every morning. They're not going to change. That's the energy that this is giving. It's definitely an imbalance, okay? And they don't want to do the work to correct it. They don't like understanding. They lack effort. They're not going to put the effort in to change it. And that strength card, that's them basically, with the strength card being in that situation, that's basically them being able to, they're probably the type of person that controls themselves just enough to avoid accountability, but not enough to actually grow. You get what I'm saying? Like, they know just how far to push it. So whether it's still disrespectful, but it's not to the point to where, you would be like, oh, hell no. You get me? So then now you're going to be stuck in a loop of constantly forgiving, moving on, letting it slide, keeping the peace. And they're just going to stay the same. That's not a relationship. That's not a relationship. You're going to be maintaining this person as long as this connection is active. You're going to be responsible for maintaining this person's emotions and maintaining the dynamic of this connection. Okay, so let's pull some oracle cards and see what we got. So we're pulling recalling, memories, missing someone, reminiscing. We're pulling the cleanse, detox, ridding negativity, purification, and the chemistry, intense passion, things are heating up. So this is the emotional layer behind everything. So basically, the memories, the reminiscing, the nostalgia, you know what I'm saying? There are real feelings here. There is history here. This wasn't just nothing. I'm not saying that this person never cared about you. They cared about you. They just couldn't sustain you. Okay? Missing someone does not mean they're good for you, though. Okay? That person is missing you. You're missing them. That doesn't mean that y'all supposed to be together. You can miss it and still know that this person or this situation is not for you. Then we got the cleanse, detox, ridding negativity. Now, this is your real energy. You're pulling your energy back, you're clearing your mind, you're getting out of that emotional fog, okay? Because after everything we just saw, the connection was draining, confusing. It was confusing. It was very imbalanced. The connection was very imbalanced. So now you're in reset mode. You're in reset mode, self-preservation. I need my energy back. Okay? That's where you're at right now. And then we got chemistry, intense passion, things are heating up. Now, this is where people get confused because they think passion equals alignment. But no, this is basically saying the connection had chemistry. That's why it's hard to let it go. This connection had chemistry. It felt strong. It felt intense. That's why, you know, it's lingering. There's real feelings here. What you felt was real. What they felt was real. You put all these three together. It's basically you miss them. You're clearing them out of your space, but the chemistry is still there. Chemistry does not equal alignment though, okay? A lot of us make that mistake. Chemistry does not equal alignment. This was doomed from the beginning. It was lacking structure. It was lacking structure. So now your heart is remembering, your mind is clearing, but your body is still feeling it. But just because you still feel it doesn't mean it was right. The chemistry was there, no doubt. This could be a person probably when it was good, it probably was amazing. But when it was bad, baby, it was probably like hell. So the chemistry was there. The consistency wasn't. And that's the consistency not being there is basically why you are in the energy that you are right now, okay? And remember, peace over pull, clarity over chemistry. Choosing yourself even when it feels good to go back. That's how you are going to get out of this energy, okay? Thank you. I hope this helped. If it resonates, you know what to do. Like, share, and comment.